Hello, my name is Robert Brooks. The class is Java 2. The term is 1503. In this video, I'm going to go over the project 1. I'm going to take you through the application and show you the structure of the application as well as my fragments files. The first thing I want to go over here is I want to take you through the application and show you exactly how it works. It's a simple weather application that brings data in from the weather map or the free weather map API or the weather map API, and allows users to implement or to input a zip code right there. Then you can save it. Once the zip code is saved, you can then view the different information, and this is pulling from the Open Weather Map API. You can view what the conditions are in that location, and it shows it as an alert view, but it also shows it in the detail view here as well. This is populated by, there you go. This is populated by right here. The fragment on there's two fragments. One of them is for the current conditions and the detail, and the other one's for the master fragment. Consists of the user input, the save button, and the list view here. If the user is not online, it will pull the last successfully saved search, and it will display the files from the list view from the files that they have already saved. So that does work. I can't really show you that because I'm connected via Wi-Fi to this display. But onto the code. First thing I'll show you here is the structure. I have a custom data object called weather, or data class called weather. I have the detail and master fragments. I have a storage manager where I'm creating the JSON files and saving them internally. I have the HTTP manager, which manages the URL connection, the parse JSON, which obviously handles the parsing the JSON from the Open Weather Map, and then the main activity. I'll start in the main activity here. Basically, all you're doing is populating the two containers that the main activity view has with the fragments. Now, onto the fragments. The master fragment has the bulk of my code here. I'll take you through it here. First thing we're doing, it implements the view.onClickListener. We're creating a new instance, defining the interface, populating, and basically what we're doing is populating the detail view, and that's what's in the interface there. Everything's created, everything is handled here in the onActivityCreated, what I want it to do when it pops up. So basically I'm just making all my references there. I'm getting the file names from the saved files, displaying them in the list view. And then I'm also adding my listener to my list view as well, which we'll get into here in a second. On click, we're checking to see if the application is online. We're doing a zip code validation here to ensure that the users put in a correct zip code. We're writing the file to the internal, and we're letting the user know that the zip code has been saved, and we're setting the text back to the input text back to nothing. And then we're displaying the file names again. If the zip code isn't valid, we're letting the user know, and if you're not connected to the internet, you will not be able to use this function. Here's the get file names. Basically, we're taking all the file names, adding them to the weather custom class, and then displaying them accordingly in the list view. Add listeners, basically putting a listener on the list view, getting the data from the selected text, using that in a API query for Open Weather Map. Once we're done with that, we are, or if the internet is, that's if you're online. If you're not online, we're reading the JSON file and populating the display accordingly and letting the user know this is displaying the conditions from the last successful search. Async task running everything. This is where we create the JSON file if we're connected to the internet, and there's a zip code check. For the detail view, pretty simple here, creating a new instance, creating your our arguments and bundles, and then passing the information to populating the display, the detail display on the left, so on the right, excuse me. So what wasn't hard about this? I mean, what was hard about this? Everything was hard. The hardest part was figuring out how to save the data file as a JSON and then populating the views, and then passing the information between fragment to activity.